I still remember the sting of that moment. The way her laughter cut through me like glass. My wife Emily wasn't just laughing, she was performing. She leaned against our porch rail, glass of wine in hand, voice loud enough for the neighbors across the street to hear. Honestly, she said, eyes flicking toward me with that mocking grin. Sometimes I wonder how I ended up with someone like him. He's so predictable. The neighbors chuckled politely, unsure whether to join in or glance away. I stood frozen with the trash bag still in my hand, humiliated. She'd done this before, little jabs in front of friends, but never like this, never loud enough for the whole block to hear. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling while she slept soundly beside me. My chest felt heavy, a mix of shame and anger pressing down. But beneath it all was confusion. Why was she trying to make me the punchline? Why tear me down in front of others when, behind closed doors, she barely spoke to me at all? I didn't know then that her cruel little performance was about to unravel everything. The very next afternoon, while I was out watering the lawn, our neighbor, Claire, walked over. She was in her early 30s, recently divorced, with an easy smile that always seemed to linger a moment too long. I overheard some of what Emily said last night, she began, brushing her hair behind her ear. Her tone carried both hesitation and something else, curiosity. Are you two having problems? I stiffened. It was nothing, I lied. She just likes to joke. But Claire tilted her head, studying me with eyes that seemed too knowing. Well, if you ever need someone to talk to, I get it. More than you think. Her hand lingered on my arm a second too long, before she walked away. At first I dismissed it. Just neighborly concern, I told myself. But the truth is Claire wasn't wrong. Things with Emily had been distant for months. Arguments over nothing, long silences, her constant trips out with friends I'd never met. And now, Claire's words replayed in my head late at night when Emily slipped into bed smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't hers. A week later, Emily did it again. This time at a barbecue, surrounded by half the neighborhood. She rolled her eyes as I grilled burgers, muttering, "See? He even flips burgers like a dad from the 90s. So boring." Laughter erupted, but it felt forced. People glanced at me with awkward sympathy. That's when I noticed Claire watching. Not laughing, not smiling, just watching me with a look I couldn't read. Later, when I stepped inside to grab more plates, she followed. "You don't deserve that," she whispered, close enough that I could smell her perfume. "If I were with someone like you, I'd never." I pulled back before she could finish. "Claire, stop." Her cheeks flushed, but her eyes stayed steady. "You're a good man. She doesn't see it. I do." That night, the tension in my chest grew unbearable. After Emily fell asleep, I checked her phone. My hands shook as I unlocked it, something I'd never done before. What I found made my stomach drop. Messages. Dozens of them. A man's name I didn't recognize. Flirty texts, late-night calls, inside jokes I was never part of. "Last night was perfect. Can't wait until next time." I stared at the screen until my vision blurred. The mocking, the distance, the late nights, it all made sense now. She wasn't just belittling me for fun. She was pushing me down so she could justify what she was doing behind my back. When I confronted her the next morning, she didn't deny it. Instead, she sighed, exasperated, as if I'd interrupted her morning coffee with something trivial. "I'm not happy, Mark," she said flatly. "I haven't been for a long time. You're safe, predictable. But I want passion. Excitement." Her words were knives. After years of loyalty, of sacrifices and quiet love, she reduced me to a placeholder. The days that followed blurred into one another. I moved into the guest room. She kept going out at night, sometimes not returning until morning. Neighbors began to whisper, and Claire, she started checking in more, dropping by with baked goods, offering company, leaving notes on my doorstep. "You're not alone." One evening, I sat on the porch, staring at the street while Emily was out again. Claire walked over and sat beside me. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The crickets filled the silence. "You don't deserve this," she said softly. "She's making a fool of you." Something inside me cracked. The anger, the humiliation, the betrayal, it all came pouring out. I told her everything. The texts, the coldness, the way Emily had stripped me down until I felt invisible. Claire listened, her hand gently covering mine. When she leaned in, I didn't stop her. For the first time in months, I felt seen, wanted, alive. But just as her lips brushed mine, the sound of a car pulling into the driveway froze us both. Emily stepped out, keys in hand, eyes narrowing as she spotted us on the porch. The look on her face wasn't guilt, it was rage. "What the hell is this?" she spat, storming toward us. I stood, my voice shaking but firm. "What's this? What about the man you've been sneaking around with? The one you text every night?" Her face paled. She hadn't expected me to fight back. "You don't get to play the victim," I continued. "You humiliated me in front of everyone. You tore me down until there was nothing left. And now? Now you're furious because someone actually noticed me." The silence that followed was thick, broken only by Claire stepping back, muttering, "I should go." She slipped away, leaving Emily and me standing under the porch light, the truth hanging heavy in the air. The chaos that followed was ugly. Emily screamed, accused me of betrayal, of embarrassing her. I laughed bitterly at the irony. For once, I didn't let her words crush me. "I'm done," I said, my voice steady. "I won't be your punchline anymore." That night, I packed a bag and walked out. Claire didn't become some fairy tale ending. Life isn't that neat. What she gave me was something else. The push I needed to see the truth. Emily's betrayal didn't just break my heart. It stripped away my illusions. And as painful as it was, it freed me. Looking back, I see it clearly now. Sometimes the person who mocks you, who cuts you down in front of others, isn't just joking. They're revealing how little they value you. And sometimes, it takes chaos, betrayal, and the unexpected kindness of a stranger to remind you of your worth. I may have lost my marriage, but I found something far more important: myself.